see. I think.
I see you live on YouTube.
But I think we're most likely live. So yeah, we can go ahead and get started. Oh yeah, it's up there. Yay! Cool. Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome back to Morphinominal Friends. So with me, I have Colin the Blur. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have been wanting to interview Colin for a very long time, ever since I watched, I think, First Ninja and Rise of the Ninja. So I've just been very excited. And yeah, so Colin, if you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are for the viewers who might not know who you are.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Colin Bass. I do a lot of writing and acting and series creating for some different studios, but I joined the Power Rangers fandom back in like 2018, but I've loved Power Rangers since 93. But our first fan film was First Ninja back then. And then since then, I think we're like four deep in different web series. And it's just been the most amazing and rewarding fandom I've ever been a part of. So I'm very happy to be here. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, just have a couple questions I want to ask if there are a couple. So first, you obviously are the co-creator of Crimson Vision Studios. So for people who don't know what it is, what is it and why did you create it?
So back when no superhero stuff was popular, I was in college and I got a job with a comic book company and they wanted us to make some digital media. So Sean Swanson and I were like, let's make like a superhero web series of original content. Oh. And we needed a name for the YouTube page. And after some like debating and searching of what's taken or not, we decided on Crimson Vision. And we never really repped it. We always kind of just went with different studios that wanted to work with us. And then when First Ninja came out, we didn't know where to release it. I had the idea and we filmed it and we're like, where does this go? And then we went back to our roots and released on Crimson Vision. And now we're here. We have eyes on us for the first time in 7 years. It's really amazing.
I mean, that's awesome for you guys. I mean, that's you've been working so hard and now you guys have a lot of shows to work with. Mm-hmm. My friend, I remember asking him this before doing the interview. I'm like, is there any questions I should ask Colin? He's like, oh, I have one. So he's like, you need to ask this to Colin. I'm like, okay. He said, is there anything weird you do before you go on set, before you film?
Is rehearsing in the mirror weird? Because that's something that I do.
I've done that too.
Okay.
So that's not that weird.
Okay. Well, but before First Ninja, it was like my first like debut as a ranger, right? So I was watching Ninja Storm all the way through, copying the power of air movements, everything like that. And I was downstairs doing it in the garage. My roommate walked in on me and I was like, power of air. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, dude, I'm a Power Ranger this weekend. I got to get ready. So that's a little weird, but the dialogue that I write, I mean, I write everything. So like when I write it, I envision how I want it to sound, but I do rehearse it in the mirror for like facial expressions and micro mannerisms and stuff. But yeah, I guess that's a little weird, but I love Power Rangers so much that I want to pay homage to these seasons that inspired our shows. So I wanted to match like the power of air thing, even like Omega Ranger, little things that like I made up the Omega Ranger morph, but if you look closely, it's a V and then an I, so just like his suit. So little things like that. Because I'm such a fan, I put those little Easter eggs in, hoping that other fans will notice. So
see, I never knew that, and now that I know it, now I'm gonna be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, it's a V and an I, so I'm matching what's on my chest.
That is awesome. I love that. So what else? What inspired you to become an actor? Because I know you also have like other stuff that you do, but you're also an actor.
So when I was a kid, I did like theater camps and plays and everything. And then in high school, I went down like the jock route. Like I was the quarterback, the homecoming guy, the pep commissioner. Like it just wasn't me, but I did it for the wrong reasons. And that's one thing that I'm trying to inspire by doing this. Like I want everyone to be themselves and be creative and embrace what they love. So I fought what I loved all of high school during my formative years. Then in college, I got the chance to do it for an actual company. and I got hooked. And so my acting has been like a big part of my origin story as a kid. Denied it for way too long, and then once I dove back into it, I can't stop. I took a year off in like 2015 or something, and I missed it. I felt like empty. So it just kind of was a part of my childhood. I denied it for too long. Then once I got it back, I'm saying yes to everything now, you know? So my origin story as an actor is more along the lines of like, I've always wanted to be one.
Yeah.
But then once the world was kind of like more in tune to superheroes and stuff, that's when I just dove in.
Yeah, my friends are texting me questions like in the chat too. What's one that I just got from my friend? Are you a part of any other fandoms?
Yes, I'm a big DC guy. That was like how I got my start in fan films. We did Reverse Flash Origins, but DC is number one to me. I mean, I respect and love Marvel, don't get me wrong, but
oh yeah,
it's definitely a top for me. But I like really random ones just from childhood. I love Digimon. I love Metabots, like really weird stuff that I keep in touch with as an adult. But for me right now, my top two is DC and Power Rangers for sure. Yeah. And I've been trying to find a way to get into Kamen Rider because I'm interested in it, because I think that it's going to come. I think it's going to come to America soon, but I just don't know how to get started. But yeah, mostly DC and Power Rangers. But there's obscure things that I like from my childhood that I like. I just bought a Digivice that's like a pre-order Digivice for this fall. I don't know why I bought it. It's just a loyalty from my childhood or something. I don't know.
Okay, my friend is also my friend that's in the chat is also my co-creator, so she's like, ask him. I'm like, stop sending me questions. She's asking me if First Ninja and like Rise of the Ninja should collaborate with Ancient Warriors.
Yes, that's I mean, I know I got that message from you, but I think the beauty of our little like fan world that we're creating, I think Unworthy really started the snowball, and then it's us, you know, as creators and fans making these different series. I think that the more collaborations, the better, because I don't know about you, but my favorite Power Ranger episodes are the crossovers, the collabs.
Oh yeah.
Seasons. So yes, absolutely. I think that'd be awesome. And we're filming with Jessica Ray next weekend from Wild Force.
When I saw that news, I freaked out.
Oh, I'm gonna freak out. I had such a crush on her when I was a kid, so it's crazy. We're filming with her next weekend. I'm growing out my Jackson Brooks beard too.
It's coming back. Let's see, any other questions? What are your favorite Power Ranger either season or seasons if you have multiple? And why?
Number one, I was just talking about this with Dade, who plays our Time Force Red in Shattered Past. Number one for me is Dino Thunder. Love Dino Thunder. 2 is Ninja Storm. 3 is RPM. 4 is SPD. And 5 is Time Force. Those are my top 5.
Okay, those are good ones.
I'm a big Disney era guy.
Yeah, me. I'm a little bit of the Disney era, but more like Neo, Saban. Like that's when I kind of just jumped right back in.
Oh, okay, cool.
What other content would you like to create? Like besides like the Flash and Arrowverse and like Power Rangers, like if you could create like any other content.
I would really like to dive into X-Men. I feel like the movies have been hit or miss for the past like decade or so. Mm-hmm. And I'd really like to do something X-Men related. And I got a gig to work with a friend of mine on a Cyclops origin series. Nice. And I played Havoc. I wanted to play Cyclops, but it's okay. So I played Havoc in it. And it was really fun. It was really rewarding and very professional. And it was a lot of fun. But I would like to dive into like the brotherhood of, you know, like the Quicksilver and all that daddy issues stuff. But X-Men is definitely a thing I've always wanted to dive into. But anything Marvel we've done never really sat well with our audience. So we've just kind of stuck to what's been working, which is DC and Power Rangers. But X-Men for sure.
Nice. I would definitely agree. I think I could see you playing someone in X-Men. I just don't know who. Would definitely seeing you play someone in that. What was it like creating Rise of the Ninja and First Ninja when you started like the process of it?
Well, First Ninja is always a very special story to me. It was at Morphicon 2018, and I went to I knew Blurred Vision previously just from different fan films and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went to the fan film contest, and I sat all surrounded by the Unworthy Rangers, and I was just there. And I watched the episode for the first time, and I was like,
I might have seen you.
I was there.
I might have seen you, and I just might have not known you yet, because I feel like I remember talking to you, because I went in 2018. So
no one knew who I was. I mean, they knew Reverse Flash, but so I watched Unworthy on the big screen, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. And then I was like, but I don't want to do like the normal like tights and rubber monsters and stuff. I want to do something special. So I thought, like, what's a season that's like cool outside of the Power Rangers? And I thought that Ninja Storm was cool. You got ninjas, you got elements, you got the school. And so I'm in this room. We were like partying at this hotel room after the con. And I'm in this room of Power Ranger fans. And I'm like, hey guys, what do you think about like a fan series that explains the origins of the Wind Ninja Academy and like the first elementals and like the first Rangers? Everyone's like, yeah, we love it. So that created First Ninja. I started, you can ask Sean, I texted him like 9 bricks of text about everything I wanted to do with First Ninja. And I just got really inspired by Blurred. And then for Rise of the Ninja, I had met Will during a recording session with him and Kay, who does our Shattered Past theme song.
Yeah.
And we hit it off really well. We were exchanging stories and stuff. And then he called me randomly and he was like, hey, do you want to meet up and like talk about a project we can do together? And I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to. And so we met up right in the middle part of our, like where my house is and his house. We met in the middle point. And we were talking about like, what if Brody, you know, collected all the different ninja powers from all these different seasons. And I was like, that'd be great, but we need a hook character to bring people in. And I was like, Ninjor. Ninjor could be like the Yoda to your Luke. And so then that was created, and we've done like 3 teasers. And we're filming the first episode next weekend. And so it's all a really, really great process, just from inspiration to circumstances that led to the rise of the ninja. And then the fact that I can play Jackson Brooks in both of them is just so rewarding. And I'm a very happy nerd because of it.
Let's see what else. Ooh, if there were, okay, if you could have a dream collaboration with anybody, who would it be?
Can I do real Rangers?
You can do real, you can do anybody across the board.
All right. Well, I want Will Smith to be in there. No, I'm just kidding. I would love James Napier, who plays my favorite Ranger, Connor McKnight.
Yeah.
He disappeared from the Power Ranger fandom, which I get. I mean, some people do, some people don't. But he's been my favorite Ranger across the board. And when I first was trying to come up with something, I wanted to play an older Connor McKnight because that was my favorite Ranger, but it just didn't make sense because of a lot of reasons. But I would love to bring him back for something. But then I did a video interview with Glenn McMillan, my son in First Ninja, Dustin Brooks. And he was so cool and so nice and called me his dad and like all these things. So I'd love to do a collaboration with him too. So I guess just my favorite real Rangers would be my answer. And I could go on for hours about that. But Glenn and Connor Glenn and James would be the dream for me.
I definitely agree with that. Are there any other projects we should be out on the look for? Yeah.
So Will and I were up at my cabin in Big Bear, and he was talking about doing original content. And I had been sitting on this idea called Solaris for years. I drew this character back in middle school, to give you some preference. I'm 29 now, so that's a million years ago.
I thought you were 22, man.
Dang, thanks. I appreciate that. No, I'm 29. And so he was talking to me about original content, and I pitched him Solaris, and then next thing I know, it's a real thing, and we released the trailer. So I'm writing it, I created it, Will's the lead, and then we have a full first episode coming soon. But definitely check out Solaris. It's like a sci-fi fantasy post-apocalyptic thing with some of your favorite Ranger actors. So I think that was one thing I'd like to get out there on the board.
Are there any conventions you're going to be attending next year that we should know about?
Probably all of them. I miss conventions so much. I'll say yes to anything I'm invited to. I miss cons more than anything. Cons and concerts. I miss that. Like quarantine, I get it, stay safe, and I do. I wear my mask and I stay home. But man, do I miss concerts and conventions.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll be at everything in SoCal, and then if anyone wants me to come over East Coast or anything, I'm going to say yes, because I just miss cons so much.
See, I'm getting a lot more questions in the chat than I thought I was going to. Let's see. Got another question. Let's see. How are you dealing with COVID, and what are you doing during this crazy time?
At first, I was going pretty crazy, to be honest. I wasn't sleeping very well, and I was like kind of just lost. But then I got like kind of refreshed lately, so I've been doing a lot of writing, and then very safe filming, and also just kind of appreciating the fact that I'm healthy and at home. Like I could have it and like be dying in my bed, but I just am more grateful that I'm still able to do things like this and still be healthy with it. So I try to stay busy. I try to stay creative, but the bottom line is, even if you're going crazy, you have to worry about the people around you. So I try to stay safe, but I try to stay productive in my own way. And I know it's not a very good answer to the question, but that's what I've been doing.
Let's see. Another question that's in the chat is, how are going things with Power Rangers Shattered Past?
Shattered Past is great. It's a very special show because it shouldn't exist. It's an accident. I don't know if you know this story, but Shattered Past was created because we got ironically stormed out of going up to film in Big Bear for a Ninja Storm series. So I still wanted to film something, and we owed it to a sponsor. So then I was like, hey, what if the Omega Ranger like time traveled to stop Draken? And I wrote the whole script the night before, and it became this. It's our #1 show on Crimson Vision. So I love Shattered Pass, and the Omega Ranger toy just got announced, and I was like repping it, and then these guys came in. They're like, well, you're not really the Omega Ranger, you haven't morphed. And I was like, that's true. So I ordered the suit, so I'm gonna be morphing soon.
Yay!
And it's going really well though. I love the passion for Shattered Pass. First Ninja is like a bigger cast and crew and takes a lot more work, and I still love it to death, but Shattered Pass just really appeals to the fans. So I'm grateful if anyone's watching any of our stuff, honestly.
Let me see. I want to make sure I didn't miss any more questions, or if anybody else has any more questions in the chat. my friend put in the chat, I want Colin to sign my Omega Ranger toy.
I will. Say the word. I'll do it.
From the Power Rangers guy who wants you to sign his toy.
Oh, that guy's the best. I love Christian. Christian's so cool.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, oh, wait. I had like 2 more questions in there. Let's see. What have you learned over the past year, I guess, of like filming and like doing stuff?
I think problem solving is something that I learned. And I mean, I always say that filming without a budget is 50% problem solving. When I write, it's writing around our limitations. But with Power Rangers alone, it's just really refreshing. I mean, I don't want to speak ill of our past Flash fans. They were mean and harsh and like very aggressive. And Power Rangers fans, they're just happy that we're even doing this. And that's how I feel. I'm happy that I'm even doing it. So I feel like problem solving was one thing. Also, appreciation. I just am so humbled and appreciative of the Power Rangers fandom and how they've welcomed us into. I mean, the way I write is the dream is for us to become canon. So I write that way. I make everything make sense into the 27 seasons that have existed, and the majority of the time the fandom like welcomes us in. So I've learned to, 1, problem solves for our limitations, and 2, just really be grateful and appreciative of the people that welcome us. So, and on top of that, I think Sam as a character is kind of evolving. I wrote him as kind of like a militant dude, and then now he's more like, he has kind of like sass and attitude. And you know, Dade plays Landon Tate, and he's like the straight arrow, and I'm kind of the wild card. So I've learned a lot. I feel like I learn a lot after every action and cut, honestly.
I mean, do you have any favorite parts of like when you're filming with everyone? Like, do you have any favorite memories?
Yeah, Dade and I have a lot of fun. We're really good friends in real life, and we have a lot of fun kind of just improving some like Time Bro stuff. In episode 1, it's like, how about a little Time Bro team up? That was made up. That was not in the script at all. And now it's like the thing we're known as is the Time Bros. And then William and I, if you watch the Rise of the Ninja clips, it's like the audio's out and it's like his inner monologue. And we were just trying to make each other laugh the whole time. And that's really fun too. And then, but my favorite is how I always am running and rolling. And we always make fun of that. It's like, oh, Colin's running and rolling again. It's just kind of the thing I do in like every video we do.
Let's see. Another question that I have. Ooh, who is your favorite Ancient Warriors character?
I gotta go with you.
Yay! My friends are gonna kill me.
Oh, I mean, all of you are my favorite. I don't know.
Most importantly, me. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Kick your Diva. That's my favorite.
Yay. Let's see, what other questions? In terms of the fan base, what would be your favorite part in being involved in the Power Ranger community?
I have bonded and met with some of my favorite people I've met in my whole life. So I think that the people that kind of like, so in my experience, you release an episode with like your bare minimum people, and then people like it and they get involved. And then we become this really tight knit, weird Ranger family. I don't know how to explain it. I'm in this group chat. It's called Shattered Chat, and it's with the people from Power Rangers Shattered Past, and we have so much fun all day. So definitely the people I've met, but also I love the fans that will pick up the Easter eggs that I write in, like little tiny things that they notice, and it's just so humbling to me that like I'm a big nerd about Power Rangers, and I know probably way too much, but like they'll pick up my little tiny Easter eggs that I put in. And one of my favorites is during the Time Force headquarters scene in episode 2. There's a little Kamen Rider tease, and like a lot of people pick that up. And then no one's ever thought of it before. I thought of it for episode 2, but when I took the Chrono Blaster and did the Omega Charge, like it kind of makes sense. You can Omega Charge things because it goes through your hand. So I really like that people dug back, because I just made that up. So I don't know. I just love the knowledge that all the Ranger fans have, and they're so good at it. And also the people that the Power Ranger fandom has brought into my life. Those are my 2 favorites.
I like that answer. Do you have a favorite convention that you've gone to?
San Diego Comic-Con is always an amazing experience for me. It's a little crazy, but I always have an amazing time, and I miss it so much. But a much chiller version of it is WonderCon, and I enjoy that too. But there is nothing like Morphicon. It's just everyone knows exactly what you're talking about, what you're wearing, what you like. Like even at the little shops and stuff, you're like, oh, that's the golden version of the Dino Thunder Morpher. That's the Triassic mode. And they're like, yeah, $75, like I love how everyone's on the same page there.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Paramorphicon, I was like, oh, they were giving away all the stuff from TokyJer. And so I ended up getting an entire free bin of stuff from TokyJer, all the toys that they were selling for like.
So are you a Sentai fan?
Really, really big one. My first ever cosplay was TokyJer Yellow.
Okay. See, I don't know much about Sentai. I know the basics of it, and sometimes I'll recognize names, but it's mostly Power Rangers for me. But I respect Sentai a lot.
Yeah. Sentai is good, but it's like the specific seasons. Like you have to be careful about which seasons you watch.
Got it.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. Let's see. More questions. How did you come up with the villain for Power Rangers Shattered Past? I wanted to make sure I was getting that question right.
Shattered Past, it honestly happened by accident. Our main villain was Draken, but we didn't have a Draken suit. And then Psycho Green, a friend of mine that we knew each other back in high school, he had a Psycho Green. And I was like, what if Psycho Green worked for Draken? And so that would buy us time. And then now as a little spoiler, we're gonna debut Draken in episode 3, and it's gonna be very scary. And so Psycho Green's kind of like it's like Zeltrax to Mesogog. He's like his general. So it was all very accidental and happenstance. And I mean, now it's like Omega, Time Force Red, and Psycho Green are like our lead 3, and it was all just a really happy accident, honestly. And then so I dug into Psycho Green's past, and we're gonna find out why he's working for Draken and all these really cool things. So that's how it happened.
I keep getting messages in the chat. Whoever is Mark something, he put he. That's me. That's the one who's been asking the questions. So yes, another question. Any future plans with Will for Rise of the Ninja?
Yes. So next weekend we're filming part of episode 1 with Jessica Ray, Wild Force White Ranger, and she's gonna have a little twist to her character that I think you guys are gonna dig. And to stay vague, I have the suit, and it's not the Wild Force suit. So I think you guys are gonna dig it.
Oh, I don't know whether to be scared or excited.
She's gonna be a different type of ranger in this.
Oh. Now I'm intrigued. Now I have to wait.
That's the plan.
Oh, I don't like this, Colin. Let's see. I'm dreading on having to ask you this question, but someone put it in the chat. What's your opinion on the rumor of Toei and Hasbro splitting?
I don't really believe it. I don't know. I think the Lightning Collection's been doing really well. Beast Morphers have been doing really well. I don't think that they're going to split. I think that maybe Hasbro is going to go in a different direction, but I mean, we still have Dino Fury, and then hopefully Dino Fury does really well, and then they keep it around. But I don't know. I've only seen Illuminati really like announce it. I haven't seen anything else about it. Just people sharing.
Yeah, because they talked about it yesterday, and there was like a 2-hour live stream about it, but there hasn't really been anything else.
Anyone real on that live stream, or was it all Illuminati people?
Tokyo Chris. If you know who he is.
Does he know about that?
Somewhat. I know comicbook.com reported about it after.
Okay.
I think after the Illuminati came out with it. I don't know why, but they just happened to come out after. And then Power Rangers Now was also on there as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm still in disbelief because I think they're doing better than they have in the past few years. So we'll see.
Yeah. I want to make sure that I covered all the bases with questions, and because I know a lot of people had questions to ask you because they were excited that I was interviewing you. So yeah, a lot of people are saying that they didn't know. I know one of my friends was telling me she had no clue what Toei was at all.
Oh wow!
Before going into it, I just reintroduced her into Power Rangers, I think 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still like trying to like get back into it. I mean, do you have any advice for people who are getting back into Power Rangers for the first time?
I mean, from my own personal experience, it was Ninja Storm that won me over. It's funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, there's a lot of great storylines outside of the spandex and rubber monsters. I think that's a great season to get back into. But if you're a fan of the OG series, then start Dino Thunder, because at least you have Tommy with you while you start it. And then they have that great episode, Legacy of Power, I think it's called, where they have all the seasons leading up to Dino Thunder, and they tell you briefly about everything. So that would be my opinion. But for me personally, it was Ninja Storm that won me over. Dino Thunder would be the one that's like, well, I watched Mighty Morphin, but I haven't watched in 15 years. Try Dino Thunder. That's all I think.
I mean, did you have any crushes on the Power Rangers when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. This conversation would get a lot longer, but I mean, obviously Kimberly, but I was way too young. And then I really liked the Mystic Force Blue Ranger when I was like a teen. She was a little sweetie. She just was so sweet. And then, I mean, Kira, I could go on and on. I definitely, they're very good at casting at Power Rangers.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see.
I had a crush on Jessica Ray for sure, and I get to meet her next weekend, so I got to play it very cool.
Don't let it go over your head.
I'll just be like, Nice to meet you.
Even though deep inside you're like, she's here. Oh my God,
Oh,
she's here. I get to finally meet my.
I'll shake her hand and say.
Let's see. Ooh, have you seen the finale of Beast Morphers? And if so, what do you think of the RPM tie-in? If you watched the when I guess it got bootlegged to Facebook or somewhere or YouTube.
I have not seen the finale, but I do know that Ventrix was tied into it, like, yeah. Right? Venjix was tied into it, and the Gold Ranger, Abe? No, that's his real name. The Gold Ranger, Nate. Basically, what's his name? Nate, yeah. Nate accidentally created Venjix into the main villain of Beast Morphers, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So no, I don't know the basic. I don't know like what really happened, but I know the basics of it, and it seems pretty crazy. I saw like the last minute where like Steel is a human and all this stuff, and I'm glad everyone got a happy ending, but I need to see how that makes sense because RPM was originally a different universe. So
yeah,
I don't know. I need to watch it and see how they do
it. There's some things that make sense, but unless you like truly watched RPM, then it's not, the finale's not going to make sense. I'll just say that because
I did truly watch RPM. I did not truly watch Beast Morphers.
Yeah, no, I stayed up until 4:00 in the morning one night and I went through the whole season.
Dang, good for you.
Finish it, even though I had school at 8 a.m. the next morning. So
you're a real fan.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Let's see, another question. If money was at no cost, what Power Ranger would you get commissioned?
I gotta go Ninja Storm Battleizer. That's my favorite Battleizer. Lightning Battleizer, I think is the name. I have the Morpher. I just thought it'd be cool to like get it at the end and be like, oh, it's time, you know. But that's my favorite Battleizer, so I would definitely commission that one. But on the other scale of things, we're working with Christopher Keeman Lee on Bloodline of the Grid.
And, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, so not many people know this, but I play a future version of Sam from Shattered Past in Bloodline. So
that's awesome.
So I'm a Red Ranger in Bloodline. I'm SPD Red, and it hasn't been announced yet, but I'm in there. And I always thought it'd be really cool if like he's getting beat up, and then he's like, I didn't know I have to use this, and then he like does the original first Battleizer. Oh, I would freak out. So if money wasn't an issue, that's what I would do.
Yeah. I definitely have like a personal connection with Jason Nimmo from In Space. When I wrote a fan fiction, I think like maybe when I was like 13, and so him and the woman that plays Corone played my fan fiction parents, and so now
oh cool.
Yeah, and so now when I see them, it's a very weird but like kind of cool thing because now they just call me their daughter.
That's awesome. See, I love the Power Ranger fandom. Everyone's so accepting of our fan world, you know? So that's great. Yeah, Nemo's going to be in our series too.
Yeah, I wanted to audition for it, but like I never heard back from anybody, so.
Yeah, I think that we're just doing like a trailer right now. They casted me just because of Shattered Past, but who knows what will happen later.
Yeah. Let's see, another question. Have you seen Stargirl? That's on.
I watched the first episode and I loved it.
Really good.
I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad it's coming to CW.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I personally enjoyed it. I think I made it to like episode 4, and then I had to stop, and then I now have to go back and rewatch. But it's really good.
At least you can binge watch it now.
Yeah. Let's see, what is it like to work with Ranger actors?
Oh my gosh, it's like a dream. I'm hitting 3 different real Rangers that we've worked with this weekend, and it's so cool, and it makes me feel more legit for like what I do. Because at first I was just running around in tights, like just because as a fan, and then we start working with more and more real Rangers. And I love hearing their behind the scenes stories, and I'm like, hey, what happened during this? You know, like they have like so many different versions of like what we've seen. Yeah. So it's very rewarding, and it feels like I'm like kind of on the right path. And the dream is for one of my characters to become canon, like in Boom Comics. And I think I think it will if more people,
put it out there and boom, listens. It'll happen.
Thank you. Yeah, working with real rangers makes me feel like I'm on the right path. So to answer the question briefly, it's amazing. I love it. And I'm going to keep working with as many as I can while I can.
So where can people find you and what's your social media?
So if you want to see Shattered Past, First Ninja, Rise of Ninja, that's all on Crimson Vision Studios on YouTube. Lots of content there. Bloodline is not out yet, but that's going to be on Nerdbot Studios. And you can find me and everything I do at Colin the Blur on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. And but I hop around. I work with a lot of different people. I'm just eager to do as much as I can while I can. But you can see all of what I do on my Instagram.
Yeah, let's see. There was one more question that I have, and it's about Christopher Kamen Lee. Is Christopher Kamen Lee a clown to work with sometimes?
He was funny, but he got serious when it was time to act. Like, I got really great vibes from him right when I worked with him, and we were like joking around and stuff. And then when it came to filming, you'd be like serious Andros mode, and then we'd have fun. So yeah, he was a clown in a good way at the right time.
That's a good way to put it. But yeah, I hope everybody who's watching really, really enjoyed this interview, and I really liked interviewing Colin. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. See.